in a meeting announced just before midnight last night, less than 10 hours ago, to ram through a discriminatory and racially motivated congressional map to the full House of Representatives. This morning, my constituents are attending back-to-school events in Arlington and in Mansfield, getting their kids ready for a new school year and the hope and promise that the new school year brings. That's where I wanted to be this morning. Meanwhile, this committee meets here to rip apart and divide their communities, to rob them and of their kids of their voices in Congress, all to appease the Republican Party's cult leader in the White House, doubling down on our state's shameful history of intentional racial discrimination. I want to speak to the thousands of Texans who drove for hours, stood in the heat, tried to register to testify despite the obstacles. They called, emailed, submitted written testimony to express your outrage over this racist power grab. And I want to express to every Texan who did that my deep gratitude and admiration. Even though Republicans here at the legislature can't put aside their fear of disobeying Donald Trump, please note this fight is far from over, and Democrats will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with you in this fight. What is happening here is wrong and everybody knows it, but we will not give up. This map intentionally dismantles multiple majority-minority congressional districts in which voters have repeatedly demonstrated the ability and power to elect the candidates of their choice. To take that ability and power away is straight-up intentional racial discrimination and a violation of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. Finally, it is remarkable that the bill author and other proponents of this radical map have stated repeatedly they have no idea who drew it. You would think that when we are considering a piece of legislation that re-engineers how more than 30 million Texans will be represented at the highest levels of government, we would at least know who had their hand on the steering wheel, or in this case, the keyboard and the mouse. But we still do not know. As the proverb says, success has 1,000 fathers. Failure is an orphan. Donald Trump's HB4 is an ugly, racist orphan. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Chair recognizes Mr. Manuel to make a statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members. I promise I'm going to make